going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to be reacting to the Bulls' comeback victory versus the Memphis Grizzlies last night as they were down 20-plus and were able to secure a victory in Memphis. Now, I understand you guys probably view me as the most negative and pessimistic Bulls fan out there, but I will say they impressed me a lot yesterday, but I still haven't really changed my tune or changed my thoughts on this Bulls team as a whole, but I will give them some credit, and we'll break down this game last night as, honestly, Chicago needed it after the Sunday night disaster for the Chicago Bears. But before we dive into that, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. Predict the Bulls' record for the rest of the season for me. I want you guys to let your thoughts be known down below in the comment section. 2-2 start, 2 really good victories versus the Grizzlies and the Bucks on the road. But you guys let me know. Predict the Bulls' record for me for the rest of the season. So let's start off with the man of the hour, Zach LaVine. He ended up playing very good yesterday. He really took over in that fourth quarter, and I was impressed. Like, I'm not going to get up on here and just, destroy a guy who I thought was pretty damn good last night. I mean, he had 30 points, 12 of 22 from the field, 5 of 12 from downtown. And, obviously, I don't think this Bulls team can do much for the rest of the season. I think their max potential is you somehow get in the playoffs, and then you're going to get steamrolled by the Boston Celtics in round one or whoever ends up being the 2 seed. Like, the Knicks would sweep you. Like, a lot of these teams would give the Bulls problems. I still don't view them as a playoff team. But, LaVine, I think the biggest positive for me is I'm sure another team is going to start looking at him and saying, this guy is a true 3-level scorer. He's had a great start to the season. It looks like his injury from the past season aren't really affecting him too much. Maybe the Bulls could actually get some value and actually get some draft capital in return from LaVine. But I thought he was great. He really dominated the Grizzlies in that fourth quarter yesterday. But also, guys, for everybody taking a victory lap over this Bulls win, the Grizzlies didn't have Ja Morant. They didn't have their best player. So I don't want to make it so negative today because the Bulls did end up getting a victory. But it really doesn't change my thoughts on this team. And Vooch, sorry for no photo here for my man, but he's been pretty good to start this year. Like 22 points, 7 boards, 5 assists yesterday. That's the one thing about Vooch that I've really been impressed about his game is when he is attacking 4-on-3. The guard comes up, they really ice that ball screen, and then Vooch is in that playmaking bag where he can kick out corner, get a little push out, or he can drop it off to a guy cutting to the rim. He's impressed me in that regard. But the thing that is bothered me with this Bulls team. And I'm not saying, like, Patrick Williams doesn't deserve blame. He 100% deserves blame. He has been terrible to start this season. Absolutely awful. He just feels disengaged. He's not a part of the offense, and I don't see that, tenacity that he would bring defensively. The fact that you gave him a 5-year, $90 million deal is awful. Like, I thought this could be a deal in 2-3 years from now. We're like, man, we only got Patrick Williams on a $17, $18 million cap hit for 2027, 28. I thought it could be a good deal, but from what I've seen early on, it is the same old story. He's just a corner boy. He hasn't really been impressing me too much. But I mean, LaVine and Vooch, they carried this team to a win yesterday. And Kobe White thought he was pretty good, but again, my biggest gripe with this team is him only getting 15 shots. I think is a crime. He should be getting 20 to 25 shots. He is the future. He truly can be a second, third option on a championship team. Like, I believe in Kobe. And that's why I've been so hard and so sturdy in this camp that the Bulls need. They need to move off of LaVine to get this guy more opportunities. I understand the young Bulls, like the Julian Phillips, the Dalen Terrys, even though Julian Phillips had a nasty poster dunk yesterday. Patrick Williams, Ayo, they haven't been really living up to our expectations heading into the year, and it's been really the LaVine and Vooch show. But I ask you guys this. Do you really believe that Vooch, that LaVine, that they are going to keep this up? Do you think they are good enough to spark this Bulls team into the playoffs? I don't. I just think they got hot for 2 weeks. So I'm not going to change my thoughts over a couple of regular season games in October. The intensity is low. And, listen, guys, they didn't have Ja Morant yesterday. If they have Morant, they don't blow that lead. They probably end up blowing you out. Like, I understand the Grizzlies are on a different level than the Bulls at this point, but I just am not going to really change my tune over a couple of regular seasons games. I understand you guys could be upset with me about that, but I just still feel the same way about this Bulls roster. Now, Josh Giddey, I thought this was his best performance of the year. 12 points, 13 boards. That was awesome to see. 8 assists, too. He's an elite playmaker. Nobody can keep him in front in the National Basketball League. or National Basketball Association. He can really beat guys off the dribble at a very high level. I thought he looked pretty good yesterday. Guys off the bench, I thought this was a great IO game. We see that point of attack, defensive potential with him really on display last night. He's got super long arms, and also I think he is one of the more underrated athletes in the league. He is extremely quick, a nasty first step. I was impressed with him. And Lonzo came in. He knocked down 2 threes. I thought he looked good. Julian Phillips had that nasty dunk. It was great seeing him knock down a 3 from beyond the arc. But, Jalen Smith, this is one of my favorite pickups. I know a lot of people saying, Patrick, you're wrong. You're too negative. This was a guy who I was all in on, and he has definitely lived up to that spot. That's why I also think got to move off Vooch. I want to see this guy getting more tick, getting more shots in a game-to-game basis. Modest, nothing. He's not playing too much. I got my problems with that, but I'm not trying to make this video fully on why Modest needs to play more. But, I understand it. Like, Bulls fans, you should be happy. Like, you got to win yesterday, but I'm just still not that big a believer in this team. I'm sorry. I don't want to be negative. I understand we want to all have a Bulls team we love. We all want to root for some high-quality basketball. Guys, we still don't have it. And honestly, I feel like they are tricking a lot of you fans into thinking this team is good. Don't give that Bulls front office that credit. This is still a bad to mediocre team at best. Like, at best, they win 40 games and get swept in the playoffs. That would be the worst case scenario. And I'm nervous that the Bulls could be around 500 at the trade deadline and not move off anybody. Guys, that would be terrible. What is your expectation? Is it to win a couple regular season games in October, or is it to go win championships? If you want to win championships, you got to get this guy developed. You got to move off LaVine and Vooch. I'm still in that camp. But we'll go over the Grizzlies stats here in a second. But if you guys are hyped up about this win over the Memphis Grizzlies, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. Would really, really appreciate it. Now, we'll go over the Grizzlies stats here in a second. But first, got to give a massive, massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. And if you guys download the PrizePicks app today and hit that link, prizepicks.com/CONS, you guys will get $50 instantly if you plug in promo code CONS when you play your first $5 lineup. Best part is you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is absolutely guaranteed. So what is PrizePicks? PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. If you guys want to add any more juice to a Bulls game, a Bears game, whatever it may be, PrizePicks is the number one way to do so. So download the app today, plug in promo code CONS, and you guys will get $50 instantly. $50 instantly when you just use promo code CONS and you play your first $5 lineup. So check them out. Link for that is in the comments and description of today's show. Now let's highlight some players on the Grizzlies here real quick. Jaren Jackson impressed me yesterday. I felt like I didn't feel his defensive impact as much as I would, but hey, I mean, he looked good. The Bulls did a good job of guarding him offensively, but again, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but the Grizzlies didn't have Ja Morant, and the primary guard, Marcus Smart, yesterday, he was 0 for 11. He was 0 of 8 from downtown. And if you guys watch this game, it's not like these were highly contested shots. He was just missing. If he knocks down 2 of these, the Bulls do not have a 20-point comeback. I just really hope Bulls fans are not sitting here thinking, man, we just beat the Bucks on the road. We just beat the Grizzlies on the road. Like, man, we got a good team here. We should go all in on this season. That would be the worst case scenario. I'm thinking more big picture here, and maybe that's on me for not, thinking smaller picture on this, but I really do believe if the Bulls want to ever win a championship in the next 10 years, it has to start eventually. This rebuild has to start. But I will give the Bulls front office credit. If your old plan is to just up LaVine's trade value, up Vooch's trade value early on in the season, you're doing a fantastic job because the whole Bulls offense is ran through those 2 guys. And I promise you, I hope the Bulls front office doesn't trick themselves into thinking, oh, this LaVine Vooch thing, it's working out. Lonzo's back. Maybe that's a kicker. Maybe this Josh Giddey trade was what we needed to unlock this whole roster. It would be an absolute disaster if that's the situation. But, Desmond Bane yesterday, he had 30 points. He was their focal point offensively. I thought he looked pretty good. Some other guys, Scottie Pippen Jr., he actually had 10 assists. Shockingly, he impressed me yesterday. I did not think he had that in his game. But some other guys like Zach Edey, he's just constantly getting into foul trouble early on in his NBA career, but you feel his impact out there. But overall, listen, guys, I thought it was a great win for the Bulls, man. LaVine, like, best part is like, for the Bulls front office, like, I am on the phone. Like, okay, hypothetically, because everybody gets on me, like, oh, what would you want the Bulls to do? I would want the Bulls to get on the phone immediately today. Send them the stats of Zach LaVine throughout the first 4 games. You're like, see, he's pretty good. Let's go trade him. And then you let these younger guys finally start to develop. Because if we go throughout this whole season and Modest, Patrick Williams, Io, Kobe White are not, focal points of the offense, they're not going to have a chance to develop. We saw Kobe. We saw Io last year. Take those next steps. And the Bulls were still a playing team without LaVine, without Patrick Williams. Like, if you guys want to be a playing team so bad, you still have the chance to do so, even if you move off LaVine. LaVine impressed me. He's obviously a very talented basketball player. I've never said he was not, but also I am a firm believer that I'm just a firm believer that still the Bulls team, if they want to be successful this weekend or successful for the foreseeable future, it starts with moving off these guys. But I'll toss you guys this way. If you guys made it to then, watch my entire instant reaction. Give me a C red down below in the comments section. Honestly, I love chopping it up with you guys because I'm happy we don't all have the same, thoughts on the Bulls. That's the beauty of this. I love chopping it up, hearing your thoughts. So if you guys made it to then, give me a C red down below. And also make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you guys haven't already, please do so. Trying to hit 11K here. But, hey, Bulls got to win. It's all positivity mainly on today's show. But we'll see you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.